morning, Iain from RTO here. Welcome to another live album ranking where we just concentrate on a band's live music. And today we have got one of my favourite bands, a band I have seen a few times, love them to death, made some fantastic albums. We're talking about UFO. Formed in 1968, been around a long time. I've had quite a few people go through this band with Phil Mogg. We've had, of course, Pete Way and, of course, Michael Schenker. They sort of retired and I was on a retirement tour, and then something called COVID turned up, so that was scuppered. But the band have said that they're going to resume their farewell tour this year. There's quite a lot of recordings out there, too many to mention, but I've got 14. There's lots of albums that are repeated, and I don't tend to repeat live albums with the same set lists on, because I think it's pointless. You know, if you got the same, you don't want the same concert twice or the same tour twice. So I've got 14, which is quite a substantial record of their live material. So let's get a crack in. Coming in at number 14, we have one of the BBC recordings in session and live in concert. This was released in 2005 even, and it's taken from selections of stuff recorded between 1974 and 1977. Musicians that play on this, because they're all different, of course, being UFO. Pete Way plays bass on here, drums Andy Parker as ever, keyboards we've got Danny Peronil, rhythm guitar and keyboards Paul Raymond, Michael Schenker and Phil Mogg, of course. So the first disc of this collection is from an in session with Bob Harris, recorded on the 28th of 10th 1974. We get the brilliant Rock Bottom, brilliant track, Time on My Hands. There's not many versions of that about, but that's a good version. Give Her the Gun. And we have another in session recorded on the 26th of June 1977 with John Peel, Too Hot to Handle, Lights Out and Try Me. Then we get some live stuff, live at the Hippodrome, recorded on the 8th of June 1974. Oh My, great opener, love that track. Built for Comfort, which of course is a Willie Dixon number. Space Child, great version of that, probably one of the best versions I've got of that. The Doctor. Then we go to another venue in 1975 at the Parish Theatre in London. Let It Roll, love that keyboard bit on that, that's really good. Mother Mary, another good song. Out in the Street, classic in my eyes. And the brilliant Shoot Shoot. This is a very good collection of songs. It was really nice to hear some of them early tracks. I think this is a great little album, and I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 13, this is UFO Live, released in 1972, and it was recorded while they were in Tokyo on the 25th of September 1971. So on here we've got Phil Mogg on vocals, Mick Bolton on guitar, Pete Way the bass and Andy Parker on drums. There's quite a lot of covers on this. We've got Come On Everybody, the Eddie Cochran number, which is they recorded, Who Do You Love, Bo Diddley, Loving Cup, Paul Butterfield wrote that, of course. Then side 2 you've got Prince Kajuku, Coming of the Prince Kajuku. What a track. What a great piece of music from that space rock days. Absolutely brilliant. And then we get Boogie for George. A great track. And it sounds much better live, I think. And Follow You Home. I think this is a priceless little record. The first side is all covers, but you've got some great versions, and probably the best versions of them really early tracks off the first couple of albums. It's a terrific album. I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 12. This is live at Rockpalast in Dortmund, Germany. Recorded on the 29th of November 1980. Released in 2015. The band for this concert was bass Pete Way, drums Andy Parker, lead guitar Paul Chapman, lead vocals Phil Mogg, rhythm guitar and keyboards Mr. Neil Carter. On here we've got Letting Go, great track. Long Gone, Cherry, love that track. Only You Can Rock Me, No Place to Run, Making Movies, the brilliant Love to Love, of course. Mystery Train, Too Hot to Handle. Then we go into the three classics: Lights Out, Rock Bottom, and Doctor Doctor. Another great set of songs. Paul Chapman sounds great on this one. Phil singing as strong as ever. And I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 11, we have an album recorded in Oxford, September 1986. This is the tour I saw them on, and it's Heaven's Gate, released in 1993. So this is the band that I saw. Phil Mogg was on vocals, Paul Gray was bass guitar, Paul Raymond guitars and keyboards, Tommy McLennan on guitar, and Jim Simpson, who drummed with Magnum, on the drums. We get Heaven's Gate, love that track. Chase, This Time, The Mean Streets, Name of Love, Only Ones, Reckless, good track. Night Run, You Can Only Rock Me, and Doctor Doctor. That's a selection of the tracks, but they did play a few more on that tour, and it was pretty brilliant. As I said, I've saw them on this tour, so this album sort of brings back lots of memories. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.2. Okay, coming in number 10. Got BBC Radio 1 live in concert. It's concert released in 1992, and it was recorded in 1974 and 1980. Tracks 1 to 8 were recorded on the 4th of February 1980 at the Hammersmith Odeon, and tracks 9 to 11 were recorded 1974. The rest were done in 1980. So we got Pete Way, Andy Parker, Michael Schenker, Paul Raymond, and Phil Mogg. Sort of appear on all the other albums. We got Letting Go on this, No Place to Run, Out in the Street, Cherry, just love that riff in that. Only You Can Rock Me, Love to Love, Mystery Train, Lights Out. Then we got Built for Comfort, which is a great version of that. Again, Rock Bottom, and Doctor Doctor, and Shoot Shoot. Great little album, especially the last tracks because it's got Michael Schenker on. Brilliant little album, so I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8.3. Coming in at number 9 then, we've got Lights Out in Tokyo, released in 1992, recorded in Japan on the 20th of June 1992. This features Phil Mogg on lead vocals, Lawrence Archer on guitars. Now, I've met Lawrence Archer when he was in Kingdom of Madness. What a nice bloke. We had a really good conversation about UFO. and he seemed quite chuffed that people remember that he was in UFO, if it was very short. But being a big fan, you know who was in the band at the time. We got Pete Way, Clive Edwards on drums, and Jem Davis on the keyboards. We got Running Up the Highway, Borderline, great track. Too Hot to Handle, She's the One, I love that track. Cherry, Backdoor Man, One of These Nights, Love to Love, Only You Can Rock Me, Lights Out, Doctor Doctor, Rock Bottom, Shoot Shoot, and they end up with doing Come On Everybody. Great album. Nice to hear different people playing in the band. I mean, that's what I like about UFO. We've got live albums covering all the people that were in UFO. Brilliant album, and I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8.5. Okay, coming in at number 8 we have Regenerator live, recorded in 1982 at the Hammersmith Odeon and released in 2001. On here we've got Phil Mogg, Paul Chapman, Neil Carter, Pete Way and Andy Parker. We Belong to the Night opens up the album, pretty good. Let It Rain, another good track. Long Gone. Then we get a brilliant version of The Wild, the Willing and the Innocent. Great live that is, I love that track. Only You Can Rock Me, No Place to Run, Love to Love, Doing It All for You, Making Music, Moves, Too Hot to Handle, Mystery Train and Lights Out. Okay, the recordings of some of these songs are a little bit out in places, but it's got a great set of songs on it as usual, and they're all good albums, and I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8.6. Okay, then coming at number 7 we have Headstone live at Hammersmith, recorded at the Hammersmith on the 15th of April 1983. This was released in 2009. It's got a few studio songs on here as well on the but most of it is live. We got We Belong, Let It Rain, Get It Right, Electric Phase, Doing It For You, Long Gone, Chains, Lonely Heart, Blinded by a Lie, really good version of that, No Place to Run, and Mystery Train. Solid album. Some different tracks on here. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. Okay, then coming at number 6. This is one of the more recent sort of lineups of the band. This is Showtime, recorded in Germany on the 13th of May 2005. So and this version was Pete Way on the bass, Jason Bonham on drums, Vinnie Moore on the guitar, Paul Raymond as ever on rhythm guitar and keyboards, and lead vocals by Mr. Mogg, of course. We get Mother Mary, When the Daylight Goes to Town, Let It Roll, The Kids, I'm a Loser. Great to hear that. I love that track. The Wild One, Fighting Man, Only You Can Rock Me, Baby Blue, Mr. Freeze. And we get them classics, Love to Love, Too Hot to Handle, Lights Out, Rock Bottom, Doctor Doctor and Shoot Shoot. Really good, this album. It's great to hear Jason Bonham on it. Great drummer. He's absolutely brilliant on this. Plays some really good classics as well, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.3. Okay, then coming in at number 5. This is sort of there's 2 or 3 versions of this, but I've got one that's got quite a few discs and some classic recordings. It's Live on Earth. Initially it's the reunion of the classic lineup in 1998. The only person missing was Andy Parker, because he decided to run his family business rather than tour. So Simon Wright from Dio and AC/DC jumped in onto the stall for that tour. We've got Phil Mogg, Michael Schenker, Paul Raymond, Pete Way, Simon Wright. But Andy Parker does appear on discs 3 and 4. So disc 1, this is the concert from 1998 in Austria. Natural Thing, great. Mother Mary, A Self-Made Man, Electric Faith, The Kids on Out in the Street, One More for the Rodeo, Venus, Push to the Limit. All good songs. Love to Love, Too Hot to Handle, Only You Can Rock Me, Lights Out, Doctor Doctor, Rock Bottom, and Shoot Shoot. Then we have this disc 3 is live in Cleveland in 1977. We got Lights Out, Getting Ready, Love to Love, On with the Action, Doctor Doctor, Out in the Streets, This Kids, Shoot Shoot, Rock Bottom, Too Hot to Handle. Disc 4 was in Cincinnati in 1995. We got Natural Thing, Mother Mary, Let It Roll, The Kids, Out in the Street, Venus, Push to the Limits, Love to Love, Only You Can Rock Me, Too Hot to Handle, Lights Out, Rock Bottom, Shoot Shoot. And come on everybody, I like this. It's some great stuff for that classic lineup. Okay, Andy Parker's missing on the Austria, but Simon Wright does a fantastic job on that tour for them. Very good package. It's got some great stuff on it, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.4. Okay then, coming in at number 4 we have another box set of live stuff from the early 80s, released in 2016, live Sightings. So again we've got on here Pete Way appears, Andy Parker, Larry Wallace does some guitar work on here, Paul Chapman, Neil Cartman, Paul Raymond and Phil Mogg. First CD is recorded in Chicago in 1980. We've got Letting Go, Young Blood, No Place to Run, Cherry, Only You Can Rock Me, Love to Love, all these classics. Mystery Train, Too Hot to Handle, Lights Out, great songs. CD2 comes from 1981, recorded in Chicago. The Wild, the Willing, the Innocent, fantastic track. Only You Can Rock Me, Long Gone, Lonely Heart, The Brilliant, Cherry, No Place to Run, Love to Love, Making Moves, and Mystery Train, Too Hot to Handle, The Usual Suspects now, Lights Out, Rock Bottom, and Doctor Doctor. CD3 comes from 1982, recorded in St. Louis. We've got We Belong, Let It Rain, Long Gone, No Place to Run, The Wild, the Willing and the Innocent, Only You Can Rock Me, Terry, Making Moves, Doing It All for You, Too Hot to Handle, and Lights Out. Again 1982 in Cleveland, We Belong to the Night, Let It Rain, Long Gone, The Wild, the Willing and the Innocent, Only You Can Rock Me, Terry, Doing It All for You, Too Hot to Handle, and Lights Out. Another brilliant package. I love these packages that UFO bring out. And I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.5. Coming in at number 3 then, another box set. This was also on DVD. I've seen bits from the DVD, and it's UFO at the BBC on air, from various broadcasts from 1974 to 1985. So you've got a mixture of people on here. Paul Gray and Pete Way doing the bass, Andy Parker drums on it, Jim Simpson's on this, guitars Paul Raymond, guitars again Neil Carter, got Danny Petronal on keyboards, Michael Schenker's on this, Paul Chapman, Tommy McLennan and Phil Mogg. Disc 1 is in concert in 1974. We've got Oh My, Built for Comfort, Space Child, Rock Bottom, and Doctor Doctor. I think this is a repeat of that in concert that first one we looked at. Bob Harris Session, Rock Bottom, Time on My Hands, Give It a Gun. 1975 in concert, Let It Roll, Doctor Doctor, Mother Mary, Out in the Street, Shoot Shoot, Rock Bottom. Then we've got the John Peel Session again. Disc 3 in concert, Letting Go, Youngblood, No Place to Run, Cherry, Only You Can Rock Me, Love to Love, Mystery Train, Doctor Doctor, Too Hot to Handle, Lights Out, and Rock Bottom. In concert, 1982, We Belong to the Night, Let It Rain, Long Gone, The Wild, The Willing and the Innocent, Only You Can Rock Me, No Place to Run, Love to Love, Doing It For You, Making Moves, Too Hot to Handle, Mystery Train. Now disc 5 was the one that I was at. This is recorded at the Nebworth Festival when we went to see Deep Purple. This is the main reason I brought this box set, because obviously I'd got the other, but it's the only time I've repeated, but I've got it because this is the only version. Although I had got one on the radio, it was not the best recording, so I've now got a proper version, and it was a brilliant show, and you got all 8 songs they did that day. Blinded by a Lie, Heaven's Gate, Reckless, Love to Love, The Night Run, Only You Can Rock Me, Doctor Doctor, and Lights Out. Great box set. Really good recording from Nebworth as I was thrown in the rain. This is the bit where Phil says please don't throw empty bottles on the stage and mud, and guess what, people threw mud and empty bottles. It's a great little box set, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.6. Okay then, coming in at number 2, yet another box set. This is the official box set, Bootleg Box Set, 1975 to 1982. All the usual people are on here: Pete Way, Andy Parker, Danny Petroli, or Petronel, Michael Schenker, Paul Chapman, Neil Cartner, Paul Raymond, and Phil Mogg. This is the one that had never been released. It's recorded at the Record Plant in New York City in 1975. Let It Roll, Doctor Doctor, Oh Mal, Built for Comfort, Out in the Street, Space Child, Mother Mary, All or Nothing, This Kid's Shoot Shoe, and Rock Bottom. Great concert that was. Sounds brilliant on this. Then we've got Roundhouse in 1976. Can You Hear a Roll? Great version of that. Doctor Doctor, Oh My, Out in the Street, Highway Lady, I'm a Loser. Best version I've got of that is just amazing. Let It Roll, The Kids Shoot Shoot, Rock Bottom, Come On Everybody, and a bit of a very short version of Boogie for George. Then another concert that was recorded in the Roundhouse in 1977. We got Lights Out, Getting Ready, Love to Love, On With the Action, Doctor Doctor, Try Me, all classics. Too Hot to Handle, Out in the Street, The Kids, Shoot Shoot, Rock Bottom, Let It Roll, Come On Everybody. Next disc is recorded in Cleveland, Ohio in 1978. We got Hot and Ready, Pack Up and Go, tracks that I hadn't got live. Cherry, Let It Roll, Love to Love, Natural Thing, brilliant track that is, love that one. Out in the Street, Only You Can Rock Me, Out on With the Action, Doctor Doctor, I'm a Loser, Lights Out, and Rock Bottom. And then we get from 1981, we've got Chains, Long Gone, Cherry, Only You Can Rock Me, No Place to Run, Love to Love, Making Moves, Mystery Train, and Lights Out. Next discs, loads on this one. What a package this was. From 1982, We Belong to the Night, Let It Rain, Long Gone, The Wild, The Willing and the Innocent, Only You Can Rock Me, No Place to Run, Love to Love, Doing It All for Love, Making Moves, Too Hot to Handle, and Mystery Train. What a box set. There's a lot of tracks on here that I hadn't got live, and I think it's just a brilliant package. I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.8. So coming in at number 1, probably one of the best live albums ever. It's called It's Strangers in the Night, released in 1979 and recorded at the Amphitheatre Chicago and the Gardens in Louisville. This is that classic lineup, of course: Phil Mogg, Michael Schenker, Paul Raymond, Pete Way and Andy Parker. Opens up with Natural Thing, that's brilliant. Out in the Street, Only You Can Rock Me, Doctor Doctor, Mother Mary, This Kid's, Love to Love. That's probably the best version of that I've got. Best version of Lights Out. Best version of Rock Bottom. Too Hot to Handle. Best version. I'm a Loser. Best version. Let It Roll. Best version. And Shoot Shoot. This is definitely in my top 10 greatest live albums ever. Some of these tracks from this classic lineup, these are the definitive. They always are. I think this has got atmosphere. Okay, there's people saying there's got a bit of overdubs on it, but I don't think it spoils the atmosphere of these two concerts. It's probably a lot of people's most favourite live album, and I know when Sea of Tranquility did their live album battle thing, this came out on top, which I think everybody knew it would. It is a brilliant album. The production is just great. So I'm going to give this one a big 10 out of 10 from me. Okay, that's all for this episode. If you first time you've watched this channel, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and the most important thing is hit that bell so you don't miss out on anything. We do about 5 or 6 shows. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 shows in a live stream every week, Monday to Friday. And now and again we do a thing at the weekend, because this weekend we are, because I'm doing a tribute to Vangelis, who sadly died yesterday. Okay, that's all for now. I'll be back later with a new album review, and we're looking at the brand new album by Celtic rock band Dare and The Road to Eden. Bye for now.